Don't go out there and take it upon yourself, because we never get justice that way.
Two men in black masks showed up at a funeral and shot at anyone and everyone they laid their eyes on. A day that was supposed to be a mourning day and a peaceful sending-off day for John Hornizes, who passed away 2 weeks prior, ended up becoming a day that turned into a movie-like scene, when his ops pulled up at the funeral ceremony and tried to kill all his remaining family members and his friends. They showed up in black mask, sneaked in the church where the funeral was been held, and they caused complete havoc by shooting his family members and anyone around. It was all captured on multiple cameras. All this started days prior when John was targeted, but two innocent bystanders, Betty Averitt and Jacqueline Mahalik, were also shot. This is a very messy story that involves so much victims and suspect.
You got 2 in custody.
Damn, why in the world will anyone attack a funeral home and shoot everyone on site? Well, let's find out what really happened in this tragic story. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories. This story takes us to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. John Hornizes Jr., age 20, was an ambitious young man who lived life like most young men in the city. He loved to play basketball and had a good future ahead of him. He was kind of caught up in the fast life in which he did some not so good things but not the worst things. A day before he was going to be killed, he posted a video of himself online with his friends throwing gang signs and doing all type of things in the video. He never knew he had just one more day to live on this earth. He had beef with some other young men about who was going to control a certain block and what was to be sold there and whatnot. He was posting videos online about him living his best life, not knowing the other young men had very bad plans for him. Things got crazy when the two group met at a party and had a problem over a girl. Sharon Troutman mentioned to John, "It is not over, watch over your back." Just one day after that, this young men, Jalone Hines, age 21, and Sharon Troutman were hiding in a gas station waiting on John to pull up. When they spotted him, they opened fire sporadically, aiming at anyone. They did not care that someone else was at that gas station. Jacqueline Mahalik, age 33, and Betty Averitt, age 59, who were going about their day like every other people, were shot and killed in the senseless shooting. John, who was their main target, was also hit too, and he was found dead with a gun on his side. Police were shocked as to how this young man had no respect for the community or anybody who lived there. Police were finally able to arrest Sharon Troutman and Jalone Hines for the murder of those 3 people.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for
also, they did get him?
We are here to highlight the arrest of 2 men in connection with the October 15th shooting incident that killed 3 people on the 300 block of Cedar Avenue. A tremendous amount of work was put into this investigation, as with all other homicide cases, with assistance from several different law enforcement entities in the community. The lead investigators in this
they was investigating, huh?
David O'Neill and Edward Feller. Detective O'Neill and Detective Feller has joined us today to offer some more information about how detectives arrived at these arrests. This is an ongoing investigation, so additional details and questions will be limited. We will only be taking questions about this case today. You will have another opportunity to ask about other incidents at next week's briefing. With that, I will hand it over to Detective David.
I want to thank Pittsburgh Bureau of Police for the job you did of getting these violent criminals off the streets. I thank you. I appreciate it. And I continue to
he said he got their ass off the street.
Thank you for getting 775 guns off our streets.
This more gonna keep coming.
775 guns off our street, and we still got thousands more. I appreciate the work that you put in.
This is my thing, right? I get it. Don't get me wrong. Clean the streets, get the streets right. But the more the more guns y'all take off the street, the more guns floods in there. Like, I know they be trying to, stop the violence, decrease it to some, but bro, it's never gonna stop. It's a trending, it's just gonna keep trending, bro. Like, I get them though, man. Don't get me wrong. They doing their job. They doing what they supposed to do. Getting niggas off the street. But like, it's just like, yeah. Like I said, the more guns you take off the street, the more guns don't come in. Just as fast as y'all taking them off, the more they gonna come in. So it just,
it's never easy.
It's a win. It's a win-lose. Feel me?
To talk about situations like this, But we understand that we have to continue every day. We're never going to stop fighting until we have a safe city. And I know a lot of that is people say, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? The people feeling frantic right now. They're feeling scared. And I understand that.
Oh, me.
And I don't expect them to be patient with us. I don't.
I want to say that we're grateful.
I killed 2 innocent women.
Detectives in the police department was great grateful in the fast work that they've done to bring some of this to justice. We just want justice done for our loved ones and the other people that are involved. We feel for them as well. She was a great person. Her smile was contagious and infectious, and she always smiled. She didn't do anything wrong. Just standing at the bus stop, waiting to go home, and then get gunned down and murdered.
Wasn't even a target.
Well, since the arrest of J.Lone Hines more than a month ago, Pittsburgh police have credited surveillance video in helping to solve this case. In court today, we saw camera angles from the Sunoco over there, several city cameras up and down this road, as well as Allegheny Commons.
Oh, me, they caught them niggas on Broad.
Shots in total that have the victims' families hopeful for justice.
Damn.
Flashes of gunfire light up the screen, showing Cedar Avenue on October 15th. 17 separate videos shown in court of the events of that night that claimed the lives of 2 innocent bystanders, Betty Jean Averett and Jacqueline Mahalik.
So sad.
Oh, me, you see everybody start taking out running.
I'm just like, just broke my soul again. It's just so hard for us.
The families of these 2 women full of emotion after facing the accused killer.
I'm glad we'll eventually get justice, but I mean, it doesn't, I mean, we still feel
That's my
hurt.
thing. They just be shooting and they hit their target, but then they hit 2 innocent women,
But
bro.
at least,
Like,
you know, he'll pay in some way.
Bridget Mahalik is talking about 21-year-old J.Lone Hines. He's charged with both women's murders, and those charges were held for court after this surveillance video was shown in his hearing. On October 15th, the video shows Hines crossing Allegheny Commons, heading towards the gas station. Once reaching the gas pumps, he doubles back to wait by this playground. Prosecutors say.
So you went over there first and you went back to the. Come on, bro. Whoa. So you went over there to scope him out, bro? If you could have just waited for him to come out. Then you went back to the playground and shot from over there. It's crazy. Like I said, you still hit the nigga, but you hit 2 innocent people, 2 women for no reason. None wasn't involved in nothing though. That's crazy, bro.
This black SUV is what Hines and 2 others were watching. Inside that car are Karan Troutman and Samuel Pugues. According to the detective testifying, they're also charged in this shooting. Once that car pulls out of the gas station, that's when gunfire erupts. Averett's mom was hit and killed while standing at the bus stop.
She was amazing. She was a beautiful woman, sweet, innocent. She didn't deserve this.
While the driver of that SUV fires back at the playground, the group is running, but the camera shows Hines limping with blood on the back of his leg. Less than 5 minutes later, he's seen at Allegheny General Hospital heading into the emergency room with a gunshot wound, wearing the exact clothes from the shooting.
There's really not anything I would say to him because he's not worth my breath.
It ain't.
This name Sean Davis does not mean much now, but will come up later. This is a guy who was put on house arrest but decided to show everyone online that he is smarter than the police.
Cut your situation or not? No. I was about to say. You out there?
The 2-minute call, a jail call. He shows his angles without the device several times and talks about how he's been able to take it on and off.
Well, I tried to show my dad, bro, and I took it off and I put it back on and did all this weird, bro. I took it off, put it back on.
John's family decided to move forward with life and bury him with a befitting ceremony at the local church. They never knew their ordeal wasn't over yet. There were some young men outside the church who were hoping to kill more of John's family member, more Opps, and cause more chaos. They can be seen here walking around the area surveilling the church premises while the service was going on in the church.
Right.
What happened next was something no one expected.
John's love for basketball began at the Pittsburgh Project. Urban Impact, Allegheny Elementary School, Allegheny Middle School, and Alderdice High
Ooh, you hear the shots. Damn. Oh, man, you gotta start ducking.
Showing 2 minutes of terror at a funeral in Pittsburgh. A shooting outside had people jumping over the casket.
Is crazy.
On the floor of the sanctuary to take cover.
20 minutes before the shooting, you see two men dressed in all black wearing ski masks
they
and gloves
right
appear onto the screen. According to the prosecution, 19-year-old Sean Davis has on a puffy jacket and gray sneakers, which they later found at his home. Investigators say the man walking beside him is 17-year-old Hezekiah Nixon, who is wearing black shoes matching the ones he still had on when he was arrested. You see the two walking through an alley behind Pittsburgh's Chicken and Fish restaurant. They look at the church, and then they walk back through the alley and disappear. But then at 12:02 starts the 2 minutes of terror. The duo reappears in the alley. Here you see one suspect holding a gun. This time they cross the street to the side of the church, passing the limo parked outside. That's when they open fire. And a split screen captured on two of the church's surveillance cameras. On the left, you see the person prosecutors say is Nixon begin to shoot from the side of the church. Then prosecutors say Davis appears in front of the church, shooting directly at a man who he chases around a car. Investigators revealed today that man was shot 13 times. Then you see the pair run off and head back down the alley. It was just 2 minutes after they left that same alley, but in that time, their lives and so many others were changed forever. Back at the church, this camera from the altar reveals what happens as shots were fired. Panic erupts as people attending the funeral rush for safety. One man leaping over the casket of John Hernandez and crawling towards the altar.
After causing much havoc as they could, they fled back to their car and disappeared just like that. 6 people had been shot, including a man who was held to the ground by a frightened lady. The man was said to have been shot 13 times because he was not able to escape as quick as he wanted due to him being held down by the scared lady.
Approximately 12:04, there was a shot spotter alert that came out for approximately 5 rounds. There was an additional shot spotter right after that for 15 rounds, the 3700 block. Zone 1 units as well as other jurisdictions all responded. There was a report of multiple people shot.
So they had other jurisdictions respond to that motherfucker?
It was determined that there was gunfire that took place outside the church, the 3700 block. There were 4 victims that were self-transported to AGH. There were also...
I ain't gonna lie, if a nigga shoot up your funeral, bro, don't get me wrong, it is one thing for them to already get you. But if they come back and shoot up your funeral, either you is really that a problem to them. Don't get me wrong, first, niggas just don't care no more. But in second of all, you must have been a problem to them if they came back to your funeral to shoot it up. Like you can't tell me otherwise, because them niggas came back and did that. They not like, oh my god, bro.
One additional victim that was...
Don't get wrong, like man.
Subsequently, there was a 6th victim that had left the scene that was then transported by medics shortly thereafter. Currently, their conditions, as we know it now, we have 1 critical. We have 5 people that are stable. There was a funeral service that was taking place at the time the shooting occurred. At this time, we don't have any information regarding suspects that we're going to release. We have alerted the schools.
Damn, so how them niggas get caught?
It is safe at this time, we believe, for dismissal. We have a strong police presence that we're going to keep in the area, and we're obviously going to be here for...
That's why you had police, bro, at your funerals with shit like that.
Gathering information. We haven't determined exactly where all the shots were fired from. They're still in the process of processing.
Do you believe that there were more than one gunman?
Most likely, from what we see. But like I said, we're still in the early stages.
So it wasn't no police there, like for security?
Extensive scene. It's extended out, and based on what we find, we may have to extend it even further.
Police were able to get a quick lead due to technologies and track them to a bridge where they stopped them and arrested them. But before they could arrest them, one of them threw his gun into the river. The police were able to get diverse out there who recovered the gun and matched it to some other murders.
According to the criminal complaint, police
they
determined the
still found that
suspects ran to a Hyundai Elantra, and they identified
it
the
was meant for
license
you to
plate
get
on
caught,
surveillance video. Just before 6 p.m. Friday, police stopped Nixon and Davis in the vehicle on the McKees Rocks Bridge.
You got 2 in custody.
In court documents, it says Nixon ran from the vehicle and threw a firearm into the river, and Davis dropped a gun on the roadway.
See if we can get any kind of divers here. We're going to need this weapon.
Now, more than ever, community members are wondering what it will take to stop the violence.
I just think these young boys are just don't care about anybody's life. Not even their own.
I saw this young man shooting with something that I saw in Vietnam or something. You know, how is that possible in the streets of Pittsburgh that a young person can get access to a weapon like that?
People had left the funeral ceremony of John and there was no one left to finish it, but the cops were able to step in and bury the young man.
You feel me? Shout out to them.
Fortunately, no one died in the shooting. Some people blamed the
you the
cops
nigga that
for
got
not
hit
being
up?
present even when the family asked for help. Sean Davis and Hezekiah Nixon were arrested for this crimes. This was the same guy who went online to show everyone that he could outsmart the cops by pulling out his ankle monitor. They were both picked up and slapped with multiple charges. Even though their lawyers claimed they were not the ones in the video, they were both denied bail.
Again, the individuals who did the shooting are covered in all black, dressed in all black, and they are unidentifiable.
The judge rejected that claim and ordered them to stand trial.
It is so sad to see these types of things happen over and over in the community. Our sincere condolences to the victims in the case. We do hope everybody who is...
Oh me, like I said, condolences to all the victims in this case. Like I said, bro, you had to be, where was the police at? Especially with a gang case like this, a shooting, they usually have police there for security at the funerals, just for this exact reason. It's just like, I don't know, somebody dropped the ball on this, but I mean, it's like, rest in peace and condolences to the man and the people, victims in this story. That's crazy, bro. But like I said, he must have been a problem for them to come do that. But y'all like in the comment, let me know y'all thoughts on the video, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.